Hello guys, you're watching YouTube and I'll be discussing this time my own strategic way of building my skill card deck. Now what do I put on my starting cards? Well, it actually really depends on the currently daily boost on the board map, such as mini battle ×2, vacation spots ×2, toll on cities ×2, and other daily buffs, if I'm playing with a teammate or on my mood. For now, I'll be sharing the deck that I'm actually using the most. For me, starting cards doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for skill cards that you need to use early in the game. You can use this also for many strategies like on team matches, which I will show on my team match strategic videos, and for skill cards that you wanna make sure you want to be able to use in every game. As you can see, my skill cards are kinda offensive with lots of increasing toll skill cards and only 2 defensive skill cards, the steal property and discount coupon. First, the discount coupon. Now why did I put this on my starting card instead of the other skill card, steal property? Well, I put discount coupon on my starting card instead of a steal property because in the early phase of the game, you usually still have some takeover certificate, right? In other words, my discount coupon can act as a steal property if I can use it early in the game or before my takeover certificate runs out. This can also both help you in tight situations such as when there are strong opponent cities in front of you, and can also be a debuff or counter negative buffs from your opponent's skill card early game. Secondly, the most common skill card in every player's deck, Haste. Oh, this skill card has been here since we all started playing Game of Dice. A lot of players even on Grand Slam still have this on their starting cards. Why? Well, because it gives you a guaranteed dice double, and it's very important to have extra turns for as many cities as you can early in the game, for it will be hard to take over cities mid-game. Now, when not to use Haste? It's better to use this on your other turns instead on the very first turn. Why? Because you may have a chance to roll an 8, landing you on the fortune road, diminishing the haste effect. Don't use this also if you have a chance to go to jail, since it cancels your bonus turn. When to use haste? I always use it on acquiring the Golden Ox at the early phase of the game if you need an even number to get to the Golden Ox. But wait, there's more. It's also much more effective when you need to roll a 6 or 8 to get to the Golden Ox. Why? Because it is between 5 to 7 and 7 to 9. To put it more simply, there's only one even number between 5 to 7 and 7 to 9, right? So if your dice control activates, there's a 100% chance to roll a 6 or 8. This is proven and tested. I land on Golden Ox most of the time when I need an even number and use haste to get to it. Lastly, for the starting cards, City Visit. This skill card transports you to the next city in front of you, giving you the opportunity to dodge strong opponent city and bet on your city stall by ×4. So it's like increasing the toll of a city of your choice by ×4 permanently. Another reason why it's in my starting card is because of the item City Conqueror that gives you a city on the very first turn. If that item gives you a city near Fortune Road, Ox, or best of all Paris, then immediately use this card to transport you there. Multiply the toll by ×4, and then get fast start on the very first turn. Level up! Now for the supplementary cards. The Steal Property. The Steal Property lets you take over an opponent's city if you ever landed on one from your current turn. Since tight situations happen usually twice or more, I decided to have at least 2 defensive skill cards, one for my starting cards and one for my supplementary cards. Celebrity Visit. Not much to say here, this increases your city stall for 5 turns and is one of the best skill cards to increase your city stall. It's definitely better than leave it to fate, where you can at least somehow decide when and what city you've just landed will you use this skill card. Either in the early game so you can have the chance to kill your opponents early, or late game once the cities have max level and lots of multipliers from the ops or from betting time score to win a lot more joy from your opponents. A counter-attack skill card. This skill card increases all your city stall for one turn. By the way, increasing toll skill cards does stack, so you can use them consecutively too, depending on the situation. Best order to use them is to use counter-attack first if your opponent is in a tight situation or has many strong cities of your own in front of them. This will force them to use a defensive skill card that could save them, such as Discount Coupon or Steal Property. Once they've used up their defensive skill cards, you can then use this skill card, Symbol of Wealth, which increases all max level city stall, including your opponents. So make sure that you have a lower chance to land on their cities than them landing on yours, unless you wanna take a high risk to win lots of joy from your opponents before using this skill card. Now lastly, what skill cards are the best way to utilize these skill cards that increases your city stall? Well, none other than skill cards such as Pull, and Drag. I have two of them equipped here, Pull and Drag. Well, that's all for my skill card deck for today. I have other strategic skill card deck that I can experiment on or use that I will show on my strategic team gameplay videos, such as my Gambler deck for mini battle daily buff and Vacation deck for Vacation Spot x2 daily buff. So don't forget to subscribe to get updates on my YouTube channel and no more strategies and tips for me. Thank you, this is Toby and I'm out.